standing in the heart of an empire. Colosseum, ziggurat, imperial court, the air thick with incense, trumpets, chants, screams, all orchestrated, all controlled. The ruler ascends, robes shimmer, crowds roar, gods smile. Then, someone stops clapping. Not dramatically, not defiantly, just stops, lowers their hands, lifts their gaze, says nothing, and beside them, another and another, until the roar becomes murmur. Murmur becomes whisper. Whisper becomes silence. The emperor freezes. The priests stiffen. The guards grip swords, but dare not draw. Because this is worse than rebellion. Rebellion has shape, sound, sword, shield. Silence has none. And what you cannot name, you cannot kill. This is the story of how stillness toppled thrones, how breath became weapon, how the most dangerous act in human history was to say nothing. In Egypt, silence wasn't absence, it was annihilation. Pharaoh wasn't king, he was living God. His voice, the Nile's flood, his breath, the desert wind, his presence, cosmic order. Every dawn, priests chanted hymns to Ra. Every dusk, scribes recorded his decrees as divine law. Every festival, crowds roared his name until the stones shook. Then, Akhenaten came, erased gods, smashed idols, declared one God, Aten, worshipped in silence. Sunlight only, no hymns, no statues, no noise. Chaos followed. Priests revolted. Nobles conspired. After his death, his name was chiseled from stone, his city buried, his silence outlawed. Why? Because if God needs no chant, then Pharaoh needs no crown. If silence pleases heaven, then spectacle insults it. Akhenaten didn't just change religion, he exposed the lie. Power doesn't come from gods, it comes from noise. And when the noise stops, the god dies. 213 BCE, Qin Shi Huang, first emperor of China, orders every book burned, except his, every scholar buried, except his. Unify thought, he commanded, or unify graves. For a year, it worked. Streets echoed with imperial slogans. Schools taught only loyalty. History began with him. Then, whispers returned, not in books, in breath. Mothers humming forbidden poems to babies. Farmers tracing banned characters in dirt. Monks sitting in meditation, not praying, but remembering. The emperor raged, built the Great Wall to keep out barbarians and ideas. But silence slipped through cracks, grew in shadows, became resistance. When he died, his dynasty collapsed in 4 years. Not from invasion, from quiet. The kind that outlives emperors. You can burn libraries, but you can't burn memory, and memory thrives in silence. Julius Caesar didn't fear daggers. He feared empty chairs. March 15th, 44 BCE, he strides into the Senate, robes purple, eyes proud, bodyguards close. He expects debate, objections, even outrage. What he finds: silence. Senators rise but don't speak, eyes down, hands folded, throats closed. Plutarch wrote, he felt the chill before the blade. The silence wasn't respect, it was verdict. A jury without words, a sentence without trial. The daggers came later. But the death happened in that silence, when the state stopped performing loyalty and simply withdrew it. Rome didn't kill Caesar. Rome stopped pretending to love him. And in that withdrawal, empire learned its most terrifying lesson. Consent withdrawn in silence is louder than any war cry. 5th century CE Gupta Empire, golden age of India. Temples gleam, poets sing, kings rule with dharma. Then a monk sits, Bodhidharma, at Shaolin, facing wall, Not meditating, not praying, witnessing. Years pass, rain falls, wars rage, kings rise and fall. He doesn't move, doesn't speak, doesn't write, just breathes. Students gather, not to learn sutras, to learn stillness. The mind is the enemy, he finally says. Silence is the sword. Word spreads, not through scrolls, through awe. Warriors abandon swords to sit. Scholars burn commentaries to breathe. The empire didn't fall to invaders. It dissolved. In Zazen. Why? Because when people stop fearing death, rulers lose power. When people find peace within, they need no palace to give it. Bodhidharma didn't preach revolution. He embodied it. One breath, one sit, one silence. 1587, Seville, the Inquisition's peak. Maria de la Visitación, mystic, healer, accused of heresy. They strip her, bind her, stretch her on the rack. Recant, they scream. Name your accomplices. She smiles, closes her eyes, begins to hum. A lullaby, learned from her mother. The torturers pause, confused, angry. They tighten ropes, light fires, threaten worse. She keeps humming, louder now, clearer, sweeter. Guards weep. Priests look away. The Grand Inquisitor flees the room. Why? Because torture requires two things, pain and performance. The victim must scream, beg, break. Without that, the theater collapses. The power evaporates. Maria wasn't defying the church. She was ignoring it. And in that ignoring, she exposed its fragility. You can break bones, but you can't break a song sung in silence. They told you silence died with scrolls. They lied. Walk into any open plan office. The hum of keyboards, the ping of Slack, the performative collaboration. Dare to sit quietly? You're checked out. Disengaged. A risk. Scroll any feed. Algorithms crave outrage. Clicks, comments, shares. Post nothing? You're ghosted. Irrelevant. Erased. Attend any meeting. Silence is awkward, unproductive, suspicious. Speak, even nonsense. You're contributing. Modern empires didn't abolish silence. They pathologized it, branded it as defect, as threat, as void to be filled, with noise they control. But here's the secret they hide. Every time you close a tab, you defy them. Every time you mute a notification, you rebel. Every time you sit and say nothing, you reclaim throne. The algorithm doesn't want your data. It wants your attention. And attention begins in silence, which is why they fear it more than rage. They built palaces to drown it out, wrote laws to banish it, lit fires to burn its keepers. But silence laughed, waited, endured, because silence isn't absence. It's presence, the presence of self, of soul, of sovereignty. So tonight, do something radical. Turn off every screen, sit in a chair, say nothing, do nothing. Just be. Feel the panic rise? Good. That's the ghost of empire, fleeing. Feel the peace descend? Better. That's your birthright, returning. You are not a consumer, not a user, not a subject. You are silence, unconquered, unmonetized, unbroken. And in that silence, thrones tremble, empires dissolve, gods remember their place. Before you sleep tonight, ask yourself, where did I surrender my silence today? To a meeting, a feed, a fear? Tomorrow, reclaim it. 5 minutes, no input, no output, just presence. Let them call you unproductive. Let them label you disengaged. Let them pathologize your peace. Smile, breathe, sit. The greatest rebellion isn't in the streets. It's in the stillness between heartbeats. Empires rise on noise. They fall in silence. So guard yours. Worship it, weaponize it. The throne is empty. The silence is yours, and in that silence, you are free.